Bloodkill is a first-person shooter in the style of classics like Serious Sam or Painkiller. It's that classic boomer shooter where you don't reload and enemies explode into bloody chunks. Bloodkill is available on Steam and published and developed by Slam Away Games, who were kind enough to provide a review copy. Starting up the game, you are greeted with a menu. Not a title screen, a menu, with monsters hanging out in green boxes that have various settings. Screen settings and aim sensitivity. It's extremely bare bones, but it works fine. This game is made by one person and is relatively simple in its design. It looks like a shooter made in the early 2000s, with its large blocky open areas and repeated textures. As you start a level, rock and roll begins to play, and it will cycle through several tracks as you go through the stages. The movement is standard WASD with mouse, spacebar to jump, number keys for weapons, and you can cycle with the mouse scroll wheel. There's no dash or crouching, but you can bunny hop to gain speed if you want to move more quickly since there are enemies who are faster than you. The shooting works as it should, but not as good as you'd expect. There's no controller support and no aim assist of any kind, so if your cursor is not right over the enemy, you will not hit. Fortunately, you have a nice big reticle that allows you to hit your target with relative ease. Enemies travel in groups and explode into a bloody mess when killed. Every enemy fires some kind of projectile, and a lot of them are perched up high just tossing their fire at you. They're a lot like the imps from Doom. Most of the game boils down to kite enemies around a room and slowly take them all out while slowly shooting all of the sniper enemies to make things easier. There is health, armor, and a toxic suit pickup, as well as different ammo boxes for each gun. Make a bloody mess with 9 weapons. You have a pistol with infinite ammo if you need it, and it hits hard, making it better than the average pea shooter. You won't get a 4th weapon until halfway through the game, which I think is a bit weird. Perhaps they are in secret areas that I missed. Grabbing a weapon you already have will get you golden ammo that does more damage. Bloodkill is only about 2 to 4 hours long. The game will be around $10, so if you like this kind of game, it will give you a bit of fun for a budget price. Most of my fun, however, came from the wonky level design that has no rhyme or reason. There are huge pitfalls and giant open areas. It's like a random obstacle course for most of the game that sometimes resembles a castle or poison swamp. And now for the not so good. I was going to talk about a crash that happened a lot, but there was a patch while writing this review, and the crashes have been fixed. There was also a mini tutorial that was added. I didn't know that standing still made me jump higher. I did have all my save files deleted, but thanks pre-day 1 patch. This game looks and feels amateurish for several reasons, from the generic green screen menus that can even be hard to see, to the awkward stages that remind me of my own crappy Doom levels that I made in a weekend. There are walls and textures that aren't aligned properly, or ones that are copied just to fill the space. You aren't a person in this game, you are a disembodied gun with no one holding the trigger. This leads to several problems with hit detection. None of this is a deal breaker, but come on, it's a little off-putting. There are lots of enemies on screen, and you can get ganked, but it's mostly fair, and the frame rate remains constant at 60 to 120 FPS. You do get generous checkpoint saves, so if you die, no problem. What should be a fun game where I rampage through hordes of enemies, satisfying my craving for destruction, becomes a tedious exercise of wonky shooting, simplistic enemies and blood effects, awkward colored door puzzles, and having to carefully take out lots of annoyingly placed ranged enemies. While I did enjoy a bit of time with this game, it got old pretty fast. It's good for a bit of fun after work or on the weekend, but unfortunately I cannot recommend Bloodkill unless you are a shooter player that has exhausted all other options. If you feel like supporting a new developer, you can do that. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. I give Bloodkill 2 giant pixelated blood splatters out of 5. This is Dan T from Twisted Banana Productions signing off.